Hi, welcome to the TriEssence martial art channel. Today we're going to talk about a very popular question, which is why do people practice push hand? I've heard this question from time to time again, and there hasn't been a very good answer out there as far as I've seen. People often wonder, especially in systems like Tai Chi and Yi Quan, and now even some Bao and Xing Yi have adopted the practice of push hand. People always wonder, why do these people do push hand, and what does that have to do with these martial art systems, and more importantly, what does it have to do with combat and sparring? Okay, so first we must understand that there are many versions of push hand in today's world. Alright. For example, there's a push hand that we often see in parks, where two persons, they're not allowed to move the step. Alright, so they stand about this far apart, and they are not allowed to break free from each other's connection. They have to always stay connected. And in that case, they're trying to see who off-balance the other person first. You can't move, so if I do this, and I lost a point. Or if I do this, I lost another point. Alright, so that you see a lot in the Chinese parks, especially in Beijing. A lot of people do that, and they will the guy will push, and I'll be like here, and I'll push there, and we'll try to unbalance each other. This kind of push hand is more like a game, right? A lot of people play them in the parks, and they enjoy it, which is great. And if you like this kind of game, there's completely nothing wrong with it. But this has very little to do with the martial arts side of push hand. Right, this is more just a game, because first of all, the way they diffuse force. Right? When a guy is pushing on me, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, do this, and then try to do whatever I can to not move that step. But if this is real combat, none of these things are going to matter, because it's going to hit him in the face. Right? No one's going to push me and let me do this. It's going to be a hit. So it's not going to be like a hit, right? It's going to be enough time to do this and then do that, right? It's not the Matrix. So the skill that you develop from playing this type of push hand doesn't really transfer into combat, right? You can't do this in combat. Instead of that, right, just take that step and then hit it. So that one is more a game that people play, and it's cool if you understand what it is. The next type of push hand that we often see are the competition push hand, right? When you see the TriEssence tournament in China. And that version of push hand has blended with wrestling, okay? You see the people will start off either like this or like that, right? Like here. Okay. But before they do some circles, they'll start holding each other's neck, and then holding grabbing, and then they'll start trying to do wrestling moves, and so they'll try to sometimes they'll be here and they'll be like tripping each other, or they'll be like this, putting down, things like that. Now, which is also cool if you enjoy that kind of push hand. But once again, this does have certain elements of combat, but it doesn't completely translate into combat. The reason for that is they are not allowed to punch or hit, which is the most common thing to happen in a fight. And for example, we're initially here, there's a time that it takes me to go for his neck. He could hit me in the ribs. But before I could even get him down to do this move to, suddenly disorientate him, he would hit me twice already. Alright? And another common technique they have is they come here, they hold this hand, and then they come around here, and then they do this, right? Something like that. I'm not very good at that version of push hand. Something to that effect. But once again, the moment my hand leaves this hand and goes for that one, yeah, he could punch me, or more importantly, overhook to my face. Before I could actually get control of this and trip him or do whatever to make him fall, right? Before that happens, I'll get hit in the face, because this is much faster than that. So what this means is, when you are not allowed to hit, there's a lot of techniques that will be more applicable. I don't need to care about this hand as long as I can overpower him here. Or I need to care about the hand when I can overpower him here. Or even grab each other and then try to, to throw each other off that balance. But once again, in all these cases, people could hit me before I get to that position. Right? If you're here, and then he tried to grab me, so you could already hit him a lot of times already. Which is why in wrestling matches, you're not allowed to punch people. Because when you're allowed to punch people, the game changes completely. Once again, I'm not saying those versions of push hand is wrong or bad, but you have to understand the purpose of them and their limitations. Next, we're going to talk about a version of push hand that is widely practiced in each circle, but is also practiced in some Tai Chi lineage. It is a push hand that allows you to hit people. Alright? You don't want to break the contact point, but when the situation calls for it, you're allowed to break contact and hit him. Traditionally, this can sometimes also called 打手, which means hitting hand. Right, so the idea is I want to establish connection all the time, because in doing so, he can't hit me. But if I come here, and his hand went way out, I'm not, like not punch, but just went out. I'm not obliged to follow him, okay? It's not rules that I must follow him, because in the previous version of push and the first one, when his hand goes way out, I have to follow him, because I can't break contact. But in this case, his hand goes way out, I hit him. What this teaches the practitioner is that you can't take your hand way out. As much as I'm worried about you, he's worried about me. Alright, he's worried about me punching him. So his hand is gonna check my hand, and I'm gonna check his hand because we're both worried we're gonna get punched. And the basic circle looks like this, right? Which you see various systems do this kind of circular push and motion. And often people think this is just doing a circle. It's like, what does this have to do with combat? What actually happens in each one is, over here, he has a slight opportunity to hit him in the face or in the chest. If this hand of mine isn't keeping him in check, I'll get hit. So when his hand comes up slowly, I am actually guarding it so that I make sure his punch doesn't connect to me. Okay? By taking his hand out of my center and my hand pointing at his center. And at this point, it's a time where I can try to reach out and hit him. And he's going to be worried. So what he does is, when my hand is here, going in, he turns a bit more so that the elbow squeezes his hand out. Alright? And if I start pursuing that endeavor, all he has to do is push me that way and I'll lose balance. He hit me too. Yeah, that's a good one. But also he can just push. Not like this, right? Okay, alright. You see, I can't have good balance. So when he reaches that point, then I no longer want to push him. I want to come back because I'm actually at a bad position here. And when I come back, this once again is my opportunity to hit him. Because over here, if he doesn't keep me in check, I'll hit him in the ribs. Alright? So when that happens, then he needs to feel it and immediately rotate the hand up so that my punch can't go in. But now, let's say I didn't punch and I come through. I didn't feel I have an opportunity. Then, over here, is an opportunity for me to punch him, either in the face or in the chest. So then he's keeping me in check. And then up to this point, then he has his hand pointing toward my center. And then when he tries to punch me, I have to get rid of that. And at this point, I can push him off balance. So then he comes back, like here. And then over here, I'm worried about his punch from coming here. When he does that, it's there. Now it comes through. When he doesn't do that, When it just goes really regular, then we back to here again. And then his hand comes up, and then I worry about that punch again. So this process, when doing it in a seamless rotation, it looks like this. So although it looks like we're just doing circles, we're actually finding opportunities to punch all the time. At any given moment, if one of us has a structural mistake or we didn't listen properly, there could be a slip into the punch. So what the study teaches you to always be on guard for a punch, not a push. The push is actually a substitute of a punch, because I don't want to, really hit my training partner and hurt him, because then obviously it's not good. So instead of, and if I do a fake punch like this, I don't actually know if I can generate full power against a real opponent, right? Because this is easier than simulating the body and doing a proper punch. Well, the timing is different. So instead of punching him for real or just doing a fake punch that can't tell if I can do it for real, I want to do a push or a send. Because send takes longer time to prepare than a real punch, and it doesn't hurt the person. All that happens is he moves back. If I can do this to a resisting opponent, then I could punch him at that same opportunity. So this validates myself in knowing that I could have punched him at that position. That's the only reason why people push in each one. Okay? But we also do punches just to teach each other when we could get punched, when we make a mistake. Alright, so when we're doing this faster, we'll start looking for opportunity, and also we're allowed to move around, right? Each one doesn't believe in fixed step push hand. When you fight, your step never fixed. And now, for example, then I'll start to test him, and then he will try to stop me from punching him, like that. We're constantly trying to find an opportunity to punch each other, but also control the hand. Like this. And then in doing this, there are various techniques to use, which in each one is called 势力, right? The testing of power. So depending on reading his nativity, whether he is strong or weak, or where he's pushing, is he pushing straight, pushing out, pushing in, and then I try to use different type of power generation to open up, because I want to punch him. But for example, here, that can go in. That is a move that 分挂势力. You go out and you come in. Or I want to go in and I realize, he's resisting. Then spin him. Alright? And I can't just come up to the guy and spin him, because if he's listening to my power and relaxed, nothing happens. You can actually follow the sword and just take his arm back, and then I get hit. So I actually have to be sensitive enough to feel I went in and saw the structure, and then I go through with it. So you have to know what to do before you actually do it. And for example, there's also one where I go down and send him. And there are many, right? This is just example here, and go in is here. And then if I go here and he actually was good in listening to my power, he'll come back, and then we'll have to then play continuously to make sure that don't get hit by each other. So this makes our push hand take the focus more on punching and striking rather than getting to a much closer range. So we're going to do a bit of loose push hand. So actually, let me find a chance. Yeah. You find opportunity of exports. Oh yeah. can even go faster, so that you can feel what it's like when things go haywire. But then you can slow down to make sure you learn structure and sensitivity. Too fast and you won't learn much. Alright, so then eventually this will translate into, or this will teach you the contact point on your arm. And these loose moves are what to do when you contact somebody's arm. Because people often say, yeah, in real fight, nobody's going to draw circles with you. Which is 100% true. But if you do say you do 一拳, right, you do this 视力, 发拳, and or if you do Tai Chi, so these nice moves. But straight away, we ask you to fight. You don't really have a connection between these moves and the guy throwing punches in your face. So most of the time what people do is they will start throwing punches back. And all these years of training these techniques doesn't translate into anything, right? Because your mind will be find it very difficult to bridge the gap between single man practice technique to two guys fighting. What push hand does in each one is they teach you the opportunity when my hands hold here, this is the technique I can use. When my hands hold here, this is the technique I can use. Or the spinning technique, or the downward technique. I put on the inside, I can either do this way, or I can do this way. When I do this way and I fail, I come back here. And when this one fails, I can do that, for example. So it teaches you this contact point, right? And when you're fighting somebody, obviously you're not going to do the circle. But hypothetically speaking, when we are fighting, we're not going to always do it for real, but when I contact that, when he throws a punch and my hand contacts it, I'm going to try to then spin him out. Even if his punch is fast, right? It's not a punch that doesn't come back. So you still have that feel of doing this and following it through with 在拳. For example, so that piece gets learned in push hand. And when that happens, the hand naturally goes here. And once I'm here, if either I hit him or not, my hand will then seek for his hand. And you see, at this very moment, it's almost like push hand. If that hand comes over his swing, so it comes to the top, right? That becomes this part of the push hand. Except if I'm really close, so I'm not going to let him come through, because they're going to hit him in the face. However, in this position, I'll be able to set up for a punch myself first, all right? And then this hand keep that in check. Now, if I'm here, and this punch comes through instead, then this one would come up, just like we're doing push hand. And from this point onward, it will turn into an uppercut, like that. And when that one, if he comes and this one didn't work, then it will come back out. Our real fight not that ideal, but the point is, when he does something with his hand, some random ideas, and you want to be able to stick on and find opportunities to hit him, and be comfortable, with these motions close up. Right, so the idea is that even if it's the second of contact, as long as I feel something, I'm going to move. Right? Rough example, if that contact point is here, I'm going to want to spin it, or I'm going to want to rotate it. If my contact point happens to be here, I want to do this, or do this. So depending on that split second and my training, your mind or your body automatically reacts to whatever contact it is, and naturally you know the opening, right? Because when you're doing this, you're constantly thinking, I'm going to hit him, right? The only difference is in the fight against a normal person, you're not going to know how you're going to hit him, so you'll find the openings easier. Okay, I'm going to say once again, this is not a real fight, right? In real fight, it's not that ideal, but this is the idea of why each one does push hand, is to train understanding of his force, of my force, how I'm going to affect his center, how I'm going to break his structure, and the muscle memory of rolling the arm here, rolling the arm there, rolling the arm here, rolling it there, and all of that. So that split second of contact, you find opportunity and then you launch your punch. That's how push hand works for each hand. So to put it simply, push hand is a bridge between single man presence technique towards two-man sparring. It bridges the gap in between. So you do sit exercises, you do push hand to understand those exercises and where to apply them, and then you do sparring to apply the same technique or same concept without the person being always on contact with you. Right? The guy going to swing punches loose, but you still need to try to control his arms, control his center, so that whenever I connect, I don't just, let's say this arm for example, I don't just connect to the arm, I want to touch the arm and search for the center. Even if the punch is fast and I can't quite do it, I'm always trying, whenever I can apply force to him, I need to affect his center, not just the arm, right? I need to go there. And the knowledge of knowing, once I touch, knowing where I push would affect his center, come from push hand. And also the ability to disrupt his structure, right? In each hand we believe that you want to contact the guy, break his structure for a split second, and then launch your punch. Because for that second, he's unbalanced. When he's unbalanced, he can't hit you back. Once again, just a crude example would be, as I come in, so let's say he throws a punch, you see that's the structure break. I pull both hands here, so I can then do a zai chuan to the solar plexus, and then follow with hook or uppercut. So especially of contact, as long as there's some force I can feel, I want to pull it, or I want to spread it, or I want to squeeze it and then pull it back. No matter what it is, I want to affect his center. Which is a lot easier when you push hand, and in combat it's a lot harder because the guy's hand is loose. But without push hand, you almost can never do it in sparring. So that is my take on how push hand fits into the whole martial arts purpose. I hope you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more videos in the future. Thanks for watching.